What's going on, WWE Universe? Welcome back to Wrestling vs. CC. We just witnessed something absolutely explosive on SmackDown that has the entire wrestling world talking. Sami Zayn, the Intercontinental Champion and one of the most beloved superstars on the blue brand, just issued a serious and intense warning to Ilja Dragunov, and trust me when I say this, things are about to get real intense between these two incredible competitors. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on those notifications because we break down all the biggest moments in WWE, and this one is massive. Let's dive right into what happened and why this warning from Sami Zayn is so significant. So here's how it all went down on SmackDown. Sami Zayn was backstage after another successful title defense, and he was approached by Kayla Braxton for an interview. Now, you could tell something was different about Sami. He wasn't his usual jovial, optimistic self. There was an edge to him, a seriousness in his eyes that we don't often see from the underdog from the underground. Kayla asked Sami about the growing number of challengers for his Intercontinental Championship, and specifically mentioned Ilja Dragunov, who has been making waves since his arrival on SmackDown. The moment Dragunov's name was mentioned, you could see Sami's entire demeanor shift. His jaw clenched, his eyes narrowed, and you knew something important was about to be said. Sami started by acknowledging Ilja's reputation. He talked about how he knows exactly who Ilja Dragunov is, what he's capable of, and what he's accomplished in NXT. Sami said that he has massive respect for Dragunov's work ethic, his intensity, and his undeniable talent. But then came the warning, and it was delivered with such conviction that it gave everyone chills. Sami looked directly into the camera and said that Ilja needs to understand something very clearly. The Intercontinental Championship isn't just a title to Sami Zayn. It's his legacy, it's his identity, it's everything he's fought for his entire career. He said that he didn't claw his way through betrayals, disappointments, and setbacks just to hand over the title to someone who thinks intensity alone is enough to win championships. This is where things got really intense. Sami warned Ilja that if he wants to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship, he better be prepared for the fight of his life. He said that Dragunov may be known as the Mad Dragon, he may be unhinged and willing to sacrifice his body, but Sami has been doing that for 2 decades across the entire world. The Intercontinental Champion continued, saying that Ilja Dragunov is stepping into a whole different world on the main roster. This isn't NXT anymore where he can just brawl his way through everyone. This is SmackDown, and Sami Zayn is the measuring stick for excellence on Friday nights. He told Dragunov that intensity without intelligence is just recklessness, and recklessness gets you hurt. What made this warning so compelling was the way Sami delivered it. He wasn't screaming, he wasn't being disrespectful, but there was an undeniable fire in his words. You could tell that Sami sees Ilja as a legitimate threat, and that's why he needed to send this message. When champions start issuing warnings like this, you know they're taking the challenger seriously. Sami then brought up something that really adds depth to this situation. He talked about how he knows what it's like to be the hungry challenger, to be the underdog fighting for recognition and respect. He said that's who he was for most of his career, but he's not that person anymore. Now he's the champion, and champions have to have a different mentality. They have to be willing to do whatever it takes to keep their title. He warned Ilja that the same hunger that's driving him to challenge for the championship is the same hunger that will make Sami even more dangerous as a defending champion. Sami said that Dragunov has nothing to lose, but he has everything to lose, and that makes him the most dangerous version of Sami Zayn that Ilja will ever face. But here's where things get even more interesting. Sami addressed the physicality that Ilja Dragunov brings to every match. He acknowledged that Dragunov is one of the toughest competitors in WWE, someone who seems impervious to pain, someone who thrives in brutal, physical encounters. Sami said he respects that, but he also warned Ilja that he's been in wars too. The Intercontinental Champion reminded everyone watching that he's battled against some of the most intense competitors in wrestling history. He's been in there with Kevin Owens countless times, fought against the entire bloodline, survived matches with Brock Lesnar, and earned his stripes in some of the most physical promotions around the world. Sami said that if Ilja thinks he's going to intimidate him with intensity and physicality, he's got another thing coming. What really stood out was when Sami talked about the Intercontinental Championship's legacy. He spoke with such passion about what this title means, how it's been held by legends like Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Randy Savage, and so many other all-time greats. He said that wearing this championship comes with responsibility, with pressure, and with the expectation to deliver excellence every single time you step through those ropes. Sami warned Ilja that wanting the title and being ready to carry the weight of that responsibility are two completely different things. He said that Dragunov might think he's ready, but until you actually have that target on your back, until everyone is gunning for you night after night, you don't really know if you can handle it. The warning continued as Sami brought up Ilja's style of wrestling. He said that while Dragunov's all-out, leave everything in the ring approach is admirable, it's also unsustainable at the main roster level. He told Ilja that he can't just go out there and have a 30-minute war every single week. Champions need to be smart, they need to know when to go all out and when to wrestle strategically. Sami said that this is where experience gives him the advantage. He's learned how to pace himself, how to work smart, and how to get the job done without destroying his body every single night. He warned Dragunov that if he comes in with just intensity and no strategy, Sami will pick him apart and expose those weaknesses. Now, let's talk about why this warning is so significant for the SmackDown landscape. Sami Zayn has been on an incredible run as Intercontinental Champion. He's defended against top-tier competition and has elevated the title to must-see status. Every time Sami defends that championship, you know you're going to get a classic match. That's the standard he's set. Ilja Dragunov, on the other hand, is still relatively new to the main roster audience. Yes, he had an legendary run in NXT, where he was NXT champion and had some of the most brutal and critically acclaimed matches in that brand's history. But SmackDown is a different beast entirely. The competition is tougher, the schedule is more grueling, and the expectations are even higher. This potential feud between Sami and Ilja has all the ingredients to be something truly special. You have two of the best in-ring performers in the entire company, both known for their ability to tell stories and have emotionally compelling matches. You have the veteran champion who has finally reached the top versus the hungry challenger who wants to prove he belongs at that level. The styles also create an interesting dynamic. Sami is more technical and strategic in his approach, while Ilja is more about overwhelming intensity and physicality. When these two styles clash, you typically get magic. It's the classic story of the technical wrestler trying to outsmart the powerhouse brawler, and those matches are always compelling. Sami's warning also reveals something important about his character development. We've seen Sami evolve over the past year from the lovable underdog who was just happy to be there, to a confident, focused champion who knows his worth. This warning to Ilja shows that Sami isn't going to just roll over for anyone. He's prepared to fight tooth and nail to keep that championship. There's also an underlying tension in Sami's words that suggests he might see a bit of his younger self in Ilja Dragunov. That hunger, that intensity, that willingness to put his body on the line for glory. Sami has been there. He understands that mentality, but he also knows the pitfalls of relying solely on intensity. This adds a mentorship dynamic to the rivalry that makes it even more interesting. After Sami issued his warning, the camera cut to backstage where we saw Ilja Dragunov watching the interview on a monitor. The Mad Dragon had a slight smirk on his face, and you could see the fire in his eyes. He didn't say anything, but his expression said it all. He's not intimidated, he's not backing down, and he's ready to prove that his intensity is more than enough to dethrone the Intercontinental Champion. The WWE Universe has been going absolutely crazy on social media since this segment aired. Fans are split down the middle on who they think would win in a match between Sami and Ilja. Some are backing the champion, citing his experience, intelligence, and current hot streak. Others are supporting Dragunov, believing his unmatched intensity and toughness will be too much for Sami to handle. Wrestling analysts and former superstars have also been weighing in on this potential matchup. Many are calling it a dream match that could easily steal the show at any premium live event. The consensus seems to be that if WWE gives these two enough time and lets them tell their story, we could be looking at a match of the year candidate. What makes this situation even more intriguing is the question of when this match will happen. Will WWE pull the trigger at the next premium live event? Will they build to it over several weeks or even months on SmackDown? Will there be a series of matches between them? The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this so exciting. There's also the question of whether this will be a clean, one-on-one rivalry or if other factors will come into play. Will other superstars get involved? Could this lead to a multi-person match for the Intercontinental Championship? WWE has been known to add layers to their championship feuds, so we'll have to wait and see how this develops. Sami's warning also plants the seeds for some incredible promos and segments moving forward. Both Sami and Ilja are excellent talkers in their own ways. Sami can cut a promo that makes you laugh, cry, and believe in him all at the same time. Ilja, while more intense and less verbose, has a presence and delivery that commands attention. The verbal exchanges between these two could be just as compelling as their in-ring work. From a storytelling perspective, this has all the elements of a classic wrestling feud. You have mutual respect mixed with competitive fire. You have contrasting styles and philosophies about how to succeed in WWE. You have the established champion defending his legacy against the rising star trying to make his mark. These are timeless wrestling narratives that always resonate with fans. One thing that's certain is that when Sami Zayn and Ilja Dragunov finally lock up in that ring, whether it's next week or at a major premium live event, we're going to witness something special. Both men are committed to excellence, both are willing to leave everything in the ring, and both understand the art of professional wrestling at the highest level. Sami's warning wasn't just talk. It was a promise that he's going to bring everything he has to this fight. It was a declaration that he's not ready to give up his championship, and anyone who wants it is going to have to pry it from his hands. That's the mentality of a fighting champion, and it's exactly what the Intercontinental Championship division needs. As we wrap this up, I want to hear from you, the WWE Universe. Do you think Sami Zayn's warning will intimidate Ilja Dragunov, or will it just motivate him even more? Who do you think would win in a match between these two incredible competitors? Are you excited about this potential feud? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below and let's get a conversation going. Make sure you smash that like button if you're hyped about Sami Zayn vs Ilja Dragunov, and subscribe to Wrestling vs. CC for more breakdowns of the biggest moments in WWE. Share this video with your wrestling friends who need to know about Sami's serious warning. We'll be covering every development in this story as it unfolds on SmackDown. The Intercontinental Championship scene is heating up, and with Sami Zayn issuing warnings like this, we know we're in for some incredible television in the weeks and months ahead. Stay tuned to Wrestling vs. CC for all the latest news, analysis, and predictions. Until next time, WWE Universe, this has been your breakdown of Sami Zayn's serious warning to Ilja Dragunov. We'll see you in the next video.